and welcome back. I'm Deziel and today I continue the bodice. We'll do the style 305. It's a bodice where we transfer the dart at the side seam. We'll do 2 darts at the side seam. Here's my style 205. I did 2 versions. The style A that I will be doing today with the 2 dart at the side seam. Using the same technique, we could pivot the dart at the shoulder. This is my version B. This style, I decided to do it by pivoting. So what we need now is the 2 placement for the dart. And I'm telling you right away, it's all matter of style. What I need is the 2 placement for the dart and a space in between. So I need 2 marks on the side seam. To give you an idea of the measurement, here I did put it more or less 5 centimeters down or 2 inches. Same thing for the second one. Now we're going to find the middle of the 2 reference. Then trace a line from the pivot to the half. Now you're going to place your ruler 90 degrees on that line, more or less at 3 centimeters or an inch and a quarter from the pivot. I say more or less because again it's a matter of style, but you need to put a reference a little further than the pivot. Then we trace a little line towards the top and towards the bottom. Now you're going to trace parallel to the first line, touching the first point, and another one touching the bottom point. And you trace until the square line. Then connect the intersection with the pivot on both sides. The middle line was just there to guide us to distribute on both sides, so you could or make it a dotted line or completely erase it. Now you will see that the hardest part is done. We're now going to trace from the first notch at the waist all the way to the first notch at the shoulder. Indicate the pivot, then trace from the first opening to the last opening. Now we're going to take the pattern haul, put it right at the pivot, and we're going to close the shoulder dart. So bring the second notch over the first one, and we're going to trace from the second notch all the way to the top opening, the first opening. Now that it's traced, we're going to put it back the way it was, and we're going to do the same at the bottom. So close the waist dart, bring the second notch over the first one, and trace from the second notch to the bottom opening. Now that we finished the pivoting, before to remove my block, I'm going to ask you to add little reference for the direction of the 2 new darts that we're doing. So place it back at the original position and indicate the side, both sides of the triangle, 1 and 2. Then put your awl back at the pivot and do the top closing. Indicate the top of the triangle, this one. Then put it back at the pivot. Close the waist dart again and indicate the bottom of your triangle. What we're going to do now is find the middle between the 2 dots on top and connect with the top 2 reference that you have. And we do the same thing for the bottom one. You find the middle and you connect with the 2 reference at the bottom. You notice that I did it by eyes because it doesn't change at all the fit or the style. Now we're going to close the new dart. And since we want the back of the dart towards the bottom, we're going to fold first the bottom line of each dart. Once it's done, we're going to close the dart, so bring the bottom line over the top line for both darts. Now we managed to fold both darts at once, and that without cheating or folding over or past the pivot. It's a good idea to put a pin on the first dart that we close while we close the second one. Now you could see that my side seam needs a little adjustment. So I'm going to place my ruler at the waist point and at the underarm point and trace my new side seam. It should take off a little bit on the middle part and add to the top part, add a little bit also to the bottom part. Now we could trace the jug for both darts. What we have left to do is place the punch hole for the dart. This time we don't have to measure the depth of the dart because we could just put the ruler right at the point. The punch hole will be, as usual, at 1 centimeter or 3/8 of an inch inside. That's it, the pattern piece is finished. We just need the seam allowance all around except at the center front, because here I decide to do it on the fold of the fabric. So my style 205, cut 1 in self fabric. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching and I see you next time.